Welcome to Actions and Limits. My name is Justin Atherton. I'm the Peak Performance Consultant for Confidence Unchained. With me as always is Paul Fortune. Paul is a mindset coach and the founder of A Call to Action. And together, we make Actions and Limits. Welcome to the show, the podcast where we talk about the actions we can take and the limits we create. Paul, this is the Halloween episode. I'm excited to bring on our guest to talk about Halloween. Everyone out there, make sure you subscribe, like, and follow on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform, and check us out on Instagram and Facebook to stay updated on our upcoming content. Paul, we've got a guest coming out. She's got some content around Halloween. She's going to talk about it. That's not what she does only, but she's got a website for kids that's really creative that can help them with that. So I'm excited to have her come out. But as far as Halloween, do you have anything that you normally do, or are you dressing up? What's going on, man?
Well, this is the scariest episode of the year, guys. I am excited. The Halloween special.
The scariest episode.
That's right. Am I dressing up this year? I normally do. I normally do. I switch it up every year on what I dress up as. I've dressed up as Maverick from Top Gun, Rocky. I've done, baseball player. Oh, my favorite one was there was a Halloween where I didn't like it. They made it was a pirate party, right? Okay. But it was Halloween time, but they wanted to make it a pirate theme. I'm like, I'll show them. So I went as a Pittsburgh Pirate. So I had a Pittsburgh hat. I had a Pittsburgh Pirates jersey, and I was ready to go. So it was a good time.
That's funny, man. That's getting creative with it. I like that. Everyone's probably looking at you like, oh, this guy.
Yeah. Somebody said, I knew you were going to do something like that, Paul. I knew you weren't going to follow the rules. I knew you weren't going to go what I was supposed to do.
Then that person knows you well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're doing a small get together this weekend with some guys and their kids. So my daughter picked out our costumes. We're going to be vampires. So kind of let her, pick. So that's what I'm going to be this year. I'm going to be a vampire. And my daughter said she's going to put some eyeliner on me. So as long as she doesn't poke me in the eye, I'll kind of give her free reign to dress me up as she will. So
you already have the costume?
Yeah, I already have. Well, I have most of it. I think I think I have a finishing touch to put on there. I need some pants or something.
That's pretty important. I think pants is a priority, especially if you're going to a children's party.
But do vampires wear jeans? Can I
No. You got to wear black. I think you got to wear black slacks.
Slacks? You think so? Yeah. Slacks and some
nice some dark shoes.
I
think like a vampire's dressed like kind of formal.
Yes.
So yeah.
I have the top hat.
Yeah.
It's very formal, and there's a cravat and everything. So, but it doesn't come with pants. I just have to figure that out on my own.
That's odd. Well, I guess because they don't know, everybody has different sizes, I guess. Sure. So yeah.
I mean, when I was a fireman, they gave me pants in that costume, but this one, the vampire didn't come with pants. So
got it. So what about you? I mean, I know you said fireman. I know that if you're watching this on YouTube, a lot of people think that Justin looks like John Cena. So I know he dresses up like John Cena. I think he rotates it, right? You go fireman, John Cena, and I think you just recycle that every year.
So the only one I recycled is the John Cena one. So I've done that for 2 Halloweens. Last Halloween I was a fireman. Just as a joke, nuts. But I got pointed out when I was at that Halloween party. What was really funny, there was a guy that came up to me. He's like, "You're a cop." I'm like, "No, I'm a fireman." I had the mustache, the glasses, the suspenders, everything. I'm like, "No, I'm a fireman." He's like, "No, you're a cop." I'm like, "Nope, I'm a fireman." And he's like,
Did he know you, or he just knew your mannerisms and your mannerisms of a cop?
I had never met the man before, but he's like, no, he's like, "Man, I've been in LAPD for 25 years. He's like, "You're a cop." I'm like, "You're right." I guess it was just my mannerisms. I wasn't walking around like a fireman walks around.
That's funny that you should say that, because I did when I was in the mortgage industry, I did a loan for a police officer. And the financial advisor was sitting next to me, and he goes, and he wasn't listening to the conversation, but he goes, "That's a police officer." I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, that's a police officer. I can tell by his mannerisms he's a police officer." I'm like, "Wow, I didn't know that you guys had a way of carrying yourself, but apparently you guys do."
Yeah, I think a little bit has to do with just being extra aware, looking around every corner when you walk into a room, and just assessing everything that's going on. I think that has a lot to do with it. But I'm excited to bring Z out and hear about her website and the projects that she's working on. So I say we go ahead and bring her out, man.
Before that, let me just ask you, a Halloween movie. Is there a Halloween movie that sticks in your mind that just scares you?
Scares me, man.
Or scared you as a kid? Or
I remember, most of the Halloween movies I saw were on television, so they were all edited. And so but I still didn't like them. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't like Jason and Freddy. Like, I was never a fan of scary movies. I like thrillers, and I like things that like make you think, or the suspense movies.
what about like Saw?
No way. No, all
Okay.
the gore and
Yeah.
I can't do it, man. I'm not a fan of it. It gets my adrenaline going when like someone's popping out on the movie, and it's just I do not find that enjoyable. But like suspense stuff, like the old Hitchcock movies or like those type of things, I can get with. But the gore and I'm not a fan. So if there's one that stands out, I remember like It or Candyman, like those weird ones that were just like pretty gross. Like, just not a fan of it. So what about you?
I think I've said it in other episodes, but definitely Poltergeist is one that really scares me.
You were like 3 years old or something.
Yeah, but because you put a little girl, and she was, I don't know if they put makeup on her, but like she was like albino, right, with the light blue eyes,
Sure.
and getting into the TV, and it just it was very scary. And then I watched Poltergeist 2. They're back. I mean, it's just, I think that was a Steven Spielberg film, and he really, really did it right. And you talk about Alfred Hitchcock. A lot of the stuff that he didn't do it with gore. He just did it with a lot of suspense,
Mm-hmm.
and it allowed your imagination to go through the gore.
Yes.
Like Psycho, for instance. I mean, they did have a little bit of the blood drip, going into the drain of the shower, but everything else was the suspense of something bad is gonna happen. Yeah. And I think that might be a lost art a little bit. I think people go over the top. Like, I don't know if you've seen anything that Rob Zombie's done. I mean, he's a great director, but I mean, it's gory, gore. Yeah. And so it's kind of fun to go, to kind of have that your imagination go with the gore. So
one that came out recently that I really enjoyed, and I would even equate this to being a Halloween movie, even though it's more on the sci-fi side. But the is it called the Silent Room or the Quiet Room?
Oh, the Alien.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a great movie.
I think that was great, but it was along the lines of like how Hitchcock used to do, just suspense. Like, you're just waiting for something to happen, and just like, is it going to happen now? And the fact that like there was so little dialogue in that whole movie, just because they're being quiet. So those, I like the what's that guy named that did like The Village and
M. Night Shyamalan.
yes, I like his movies because they make you think. There's always like a cool twist in there. So if I were going to watch like a Halloween movie, it would be one of those.
What was that? I See Dead People.
Yeah, The Sixth
Sixth
Sense.
Sense. Yeah,
I think
that was him.
His first one that he put out that was really good. And the one with Mel Gibson.
Signs.
Yeah. So all of those. Village. I saw that popping up. I think I'm going to watch that for.
I've never seen that one, but
really good.
I hear. Yeah. But you're right. He's good. He's a good director.
I won't ruin it for you, but yeah, watch The Village. I think that it would be a good Halloween movie to watch, and it's just got a cool little twist in there just to kind of bring everything together. But yeah, I stay away from the gore. But let's go ahead and bring out Z and see what she has to say about Halloween. So Z is a mother of 3 active kids and the owner of the Kids on the Go website. Her kids are 5, 4, and 4. Yes, she learned that if she doesn't provide her kids with productive ways to expend their energy, they may find destructive ways to spend their energy. The goal of her website, The Kid on the Go, is to provide parents and or guardians with events to do that all kids will enjoy. For Halloween, she is assisting parents by providing alternatives to trick-or-treating, pumpkin selection, and decorating tips. So everybody, let's welcome Z to the show. Z, so glad to have you on here. Excited to pick your brain about Halloween because it's coming up, this weekend. But we're really excited to have you on the show with us.
Excited to be here. Thank you for having me, Justin.
Yeah. So Paul and I were checking out your content, your website. You tell us how you got this project going. The Kid on the Go activities. Like what spawned this for you?
What spawned it for me was my kids. So I have
Sure.
I have 3 kids. I have a daughter that's right now she's 5.5. I have twins that are 4. So what I notice is, with kids, and you guys have kids as well, is they're gonna get into something one way or the other. You can either help them to be productive or destructive, I guess. If they do it on their own, who knows what they get into, because they're quite creative, right? So basically looking around for things to do, and sometimes I felt like I was going to too many places or to find things for them to do. And so then I lived in Chicago actually previously, and now I'm in Miami, and I felt like there's a site there that I felt gave me more information. When I got to Miami, I didn't feel the same, like we had the same thing here.
Awesome.
Spawned me to go ahead and put this together.
Well, the weather is better in Miami, so there should be more to do, right?
There is more to do. There's definitely more to do throughout the year. Different things to do as well. So, but Chicago, has festivals all year round. So there's a different, as my mom used to say when she used to come to visit in the summertime, it's like we so appreciated the summer up there that, it was just really, it's a lot more active, at least in the summertime.
Awesome. So what kind of response have you gotten so far from other parents and hearing stories about their kids getting into these projects? What's been the response so far since you've got this going?
So far, basically, what makes me feel good is when I post something and I get that thank you. It's small, but at least it makes me, you can see the people visiting the site. That's one thing, but that personal thank you back on a post, like, okay, I did something that someone else is appreciating and someone else is using. So I feel like I'm not wasting my time, especially in the beginning.
Sure.
It's a low volume. So.
Getting that positive feedback and being like, okay, I'm actually doing something. People are enjoying this content. They like it. I'm not doing it just for myself. I get that.
Exactly.
I get that. So yeah, that's awesome. Is there any other projects within this that you're working on, or is this like your main focus, moving forward? Like, what are we looking at?
The website is the main focus, different topics within the website. So like right now it's Halloween, then we'll be coming up on Christmas. And then in between that, I'll probably try to do some other topics like traveling tips for traveling with a baby and a toddler, because I had because I had to do that before. Then I think what other topics I've had in the past dealt with alternatives to public public schools, so when articles about virtual education. So, but my main focus on it is I'm trying to stick more or less to the extracurricular stuff, and I don't want to make it into a mommy blog. So instead, it's really more focused towards how to keep the kids busy. So it's the kid on the go, and I'm trying to focus on the kids.
Well, let's focus some on the Halloween. So what projects or topics you have on actual Halloween, on what kids can do, especially with COVID?
With COVID, there's still quite a bit that they can do. I know at first we were all like, what do you mean no trick-or-treating?
Yeah, that's harsh for a lot of kids. They like that. They look forward to that every year.
They do. There's still things they can do. So I mean, you can do stuff at home. There's virtual activities we have on a website, a whole bunch of virtual activities that they can do at home, as well as if you have that bubble. I don't know if I'm going to get to everything, but if you have that bubble that a lot of us have, you can do activities with that bubble. So you can still get together and do.
What do you mean by bubble? Are you referring to like your small community of people that you're with? Is that what? Okay.
Yes, just small community. So for us, it was basically my immediate family, and then my immediate family saying me, my husband, and my kids. Right. But then also during this time, we also know that for the most part, my sister, my mom, they wasn't really, they're pretty safe as well. So if you have that bubble, you could, have a get together with them. You could do scavenger hunt. There's other ideas like that, that's derived from Easter. They call boo boxes, where you have basically instead of Easter.
Boo boxes, huh?
Yeah, it's called boo boxes. And it's basically, think of it as as a Halloween basket.
Okay.
You can have treats, toys, but it's decorated in Halloween theme. So you may have your skull or your pumpkin decorations, orange.
Okay.
How about the virtual? What activities can kids do virtually?
Virtually, you have your entertainers, your magicians. You also even have some STEM projects that we found as well. So it just really depends on your interest. You can do painting that they can do. There's dance parties if that's your thing. So just a matter of, one of the things one page I have on there is I have regular Halloween activities for, South Florida and some of that region, but also another page that deals with virtual activities, no matter where you are, including here, because some people even, they don't, even though there's one of the alternatives instead of trick-or-treating, at least we have them here, is drive-through trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
How does that work out? What do you do for that?
You drive to, I haven't been to one yet. They're basically, most of them Halloween weekend or this weekend or the weekend of 24th. So the concept sounds like you basically, instead of you go in your car, you drive to different stations and you get candy at each station. Or another combination of that that they have out is drive through haunted house. So instead of walking through the haunted house, you're driving through, and I'm assuming the ghosts are at the car and stuff.
I hope you don't crash. You have a monster jump out of your car.
I could see something like that, like you slow driving, because I've seen it like, Christmas, right? They have the drive-through lights. You drive through this area and you're just all kind of packed in there and slow. So I could kind of see that. That would be kind of interesting. Do a lot of fog machines to kind of make it, but try not to crash if you get spooked.
If you can't see or if you get scared. I don't know if I would want to be one of the monsters jumping out. I'd be kind of scared if a car might hit me.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that idea of the boo basket. So kind of like the Easter theme, like getting the different kind of candy. Maybe you hold on to all the orange eggs, right? And like dye everything orange and black and whatever that is to kind of fill up your basket. And I'm looking at your website, all the different like cookies and all the different designs and everything that they could make. And yeah, it seems like there's a lot, right? But I think that's right, that people think that, oh, it's COVID, we can't do anything, but it's all about getting creative, right, Z?
Exactly. It's all about getting creative and trying to figure out a way to keep the kids entertained. And a lot of them just want to get dressed up and do something. So the whatever you can think of to keep them entertained, a lot of them, I think, most kids would be happy.
Speaking of dressing up, is there a trend that the kids are dressing up as this year? What are your kids going as?
My kids are going as, we have two. I got three girls. So we got two princesses, and then we have her favorite superhero is Poppy from Trolls. So
okay,
with the pink hair. So last year, the last couple of years, they were Wonder Woman. There's the Wonder Woman. There's another superhero female they were. So it's a variety. So it depends each year. But I guess they've won that couple of years, so they wanted to be princesses. They rebelled against mommy trying to
make them superheroes.
Make them superheroes. So, but the youngest, one of the twins said, "But Poppy is a superhero too."
There you go.
Do you make them design their own costumes, or do you buy at the store, or how does that work?
I wish I could do the design. We went to the store. I let them choose their own. And,
okay.
And we traditionally went down the aisles. They chose which ones they liked. They went through a variety from JoJo to Siwa to Poppy. They looked at, I think also one of the birthdays was also Wonder Woman. So I think they're tired of that one. So this time they also looked at Descendants. So they decided.
Taking them to the store, that's a whole experience in itself. Because I know I took my daughter there, and she went in there with like, this is what I want to be. And then it went through 5 different shades of, no, I want to be this. No, I want to be this. And then she decided on something completely different, and then decided what both of our Halloween costumes were going to be. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Well, we'll go with that, But
I'm curious, what did you guys decide on?
She wants to be vampires,
Cool.
So she's into vampire books. So she went in with the mindset of wanting, like, going the Harry Potter route. Like, she wanted to be Hermione, and she was telling me who I was going to be. And then she completely changed, like, several different times. Like, at one point it was pirates, and then it was going to be this, and then she settled on, she's like, no, I want to be a vampire. She's like, we're doing vampires, and we have to match,
Z, do you dress up with your kids too, or are you going to go as a costume when you take them trick-or-treating, or?
Well, I might have to this year. So I haven't decided. I typically don't, but I think this year I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot.
What are you going to be?
I don't know yet. They'll probably decide for me. Just
go.
To Justin, I don't know. I mean, we do have opinions, but you got to choose your battle. I'll go with the flow.
Yeah. I think it's fun to kind of let them, choose. Like I was trying to steer her in a certain way, but I was like, she's like, no, this is what we're gonna be, and I'm like, okay. Like you said, choose your battles. It's one of those things. It's like, it's for them, right? It's not for us. So it's like, even though I think nowadays, or at least up until now, most of the time it's turned into an adult holiday.
Yeah.
So maybe with the COVID, it's actually kind of shifted more to being about the kids. What do you think about that, Z?
No, I agree, because of the social distancing, you can't have the gatherings that the adults would have. Most of the celebrations that involved adults, like you said, most of the celebrations involved adults was parties. Mm-hmm. So distancing is more about the kids and making sure they get out and do something and we've already had our Halloween experience.
Sure.
Of course, we wouldn't mind more, but everyone wants to make sure that the kids at least don't miss out on this opportunity at this age. They can't get it back, so you got to do what you can, right?
Yeah.
So what would you recommend for parents? Let's just say they're on a tight budget with costumes, and they really don't know what to do with their kids. Well, what ideas would you recommend to them?
I would say some virtual ideas. I mean, I think they're actually, at least in Florida, there's a lot of virtual activities that are absolutely free. They're by libraries or museums, and some, of course, you have to pay for. There's some that you have to pay for, but there's quite a few that are free, and I have some on my website as well. And then the other thing is some of the drive-through events, they're actually free as well. because you have churches that are doing some of them. Some of them are paid. There's paid and there's free. So like on my website, I try to list what's free and what's paid because I'm budget conscious as well. So I think it just takes a matter of going through and searching to find those activities that they can do. But there's definitely options even when you're on a budget.
And should people plan to have candy by their door, or do you think because of COVID that the kids aren't going to be knocking at your door, or what's the protocol with that?
We're planning to, we have candy by our door just in case. We have for years. And even before COVID, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, even before COVID, it's just not as many kids trick-or-treating door to door unless it's in designated areas, like certain areas people go trick-or-treating in, or certain things you put on your door. So we always try to have candy, but I mean, there's years when we still have the candy left over, plus the candy that they collected. So
yeah, I've seen that where they'll cordon off certain streets that'll be like, okay, like the neighborhood gets together and votes on like, what streets are going to be involved with trick-or-treating this year, and it'll be a kind of a designated route for the kids to go up and down the street, and they might have it blocked off so no cars are going through. But yeah, I don't think that's as common anymore to just kind of walk through your neighborhood and just knock on doors. It's maybe not as safe as it used to be when we were kids, or maybe we just didn't realize that the danger was there. Like, which one is it, But yeah, I'm sure that a lot of things are canceled this year. So I agree with you. It's about getting creative. If you can get together with your bubble, like you said, I know I'm getting together with my bubble, and we're having, the kids having a small event so the kids can, show off their costumes that they got and want to wear, and have that interaction, but nothing too crazy, but still want to, be safe. And like you said, not include too many extra people,
Exactly.
Is there family Halloween movies you recommend to spend watching with kids?
No, not at this.
No.
No. Well,
what about Coco? Is Coco a Halloween movie? I've never seen it, so I'm.
Oh,
talking.
definitely, that's a Halloween movie. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just starting. They're pretty young still. They're 5 and 3, so they're just starting to get into those sort of movies. This is our first year really even introducing them to those.
Okay.
I have one that she's tough about everything else except when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can remember as a kid, I watched Poltergeist, very, very young. I was like 7 or 8, and I couldn't sleep by myself for weeks. So I know you have to be careful with that, kids, with that.
Yeah, my daughter definitely doesn't like the scary movies. I don't like the scary movies. Paul and I talked about this before. Like, I am not a fan of scary movies. Like, I just don't. I don't enjoy it. It gets my blood going, and I'm just like, no, I don't have fun with that. But
there is one movie they do watch. They look forward to. It's called Spookly the Square Pumpkin. Really corny, but it's
Spookly the Square Pumpkin.
What is the age? What would be the age bracket that would really enjoy that type of movie?
I would say, like my kids, 3, 5. I don't know much older than that. It's just really a fun.
I'm gonna play it for my daughter and see. She's 9. I'm gonna see how she reacts to it. I'm like, we're gonna watch Spookly the Square Pumpkin because it's Halloween, and she'll be like, "Daddy, what is this?"
She will, because the 5-year-old looks at the twin sometimes like, we gotta watch this again.
Well, the other kid movie that I like to watch was what was it? The Peanuts, where it was
the
Charlie Brown and the Pumpkin Patch, or something of that nature.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that is a good one.
That was one they always used to play every year. It was kind of like, and then they have the Christmas one. But yeah, it's one of those staples that you always saw on TV during that time of year. So yeah, a lot of different ideas. A lot of different virtual things or drive-through things. I'm scanning over the website. There's pumpkin patches that are still open, and that people are able to still get out and walk around and do the social distancing and still be involved in those type of activities. So yeah, don't think that just because of COVID, everything's shut down. Obviously, depending on your state that you're in, you know, I'm out here in Texas, so it's a lot more open than where Paul is out in California. But you can still find different things that you can get the kids involved in. And I think it's important to let them get involved, even if you have your own little house party, right?
Exactly. At least, you know, they're only this young once, you know, they should enjoy it. The best we can figure out, be as creative as we can.
Sure. Z, do you have a experience from Halloween's from the past when you were a kid that you remember in a happy way?
Yeah, just it's probably getting dressed up. I don't remember the costume, trick or treating, and just the looking at all the candy, you know.
Did your parents allow you to eat all the candy, or did they grab it from you so you couldn't eat everything all at the same night?
You know, back then, remember, just like with trick or treating, they let us have the candy. I don't know if we had it all the same night, but I don't remember them unless they snuck it away from us. That could be possible because I know we sneaked some away from them.
Yeah, I remember my parents being more concerned about like the apples that you got, you know.
Yes.
Like, oh, we need to cut these apples up and check them for razor. Yeah, that was the old school. But
I don't even think if I got an apple, I think my mom would have not allowed me to have that at all. I think she would throw that away. I think I was only allowed to have the sealed candy. I couldn't, if anything was open, I know my mom would take that away from me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So definitely stuff to think about, and definitely, you know, for everyone out there, make sure you're safe and whatever precautions you feel like you need to take with the candy that they give out. I don't know of any areas that they're doing trick-or-treating, but I'm sure that there are different areas, you know, across the different states that are doing some different things. And like the drive-through one, I can see them doing that. That's like a new trend for whatever it is. If it's someone's birthday or I think in my neighborhood, I saw a line of cars. I guess it was a kid's birthday. They're all just driving by, honking at him, handing him presents. And I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. You know, I know, Paul, you were involved in one of those lines, you know, a few months back. So it's all about being creative and getting out there. Z, what would you say is like the age limit for celebrating Halloween? Is there
or
one?
Going trick-or-treating? I think that What is there? Because what is there an age number where you're like, okay, nope, you can dress up, but there are no more trick-or-treating. You're too old.
Like you're 30, you got to stop. You know,
I think 30 is definitely a limit. I think if you're about to go into college, it's probably a limit. If I had to guess, I mean, if they come, they're gonna come, but I would say somewhere between high school, middle school, maybe high school.
Sure.
Maybe.
You start seeing like, you know, 16, 17, 18-year-olds going around. It's kind of like, well,
buy your own candy.
Yeah. Like, you're old enough to get a job, and you can buy some candy. But if they're being the older, you know, sibling, you know, that's one thing, right? You know, taking their younger siblings around. But if it's like a group of 18-year-olds, you know, it gets a little iffy there. So that's
I'll give them candy because you don't want your house egg. But
those are the
ones. That's important.
Those are the ones that'll definitely do it. So Z, go ahead and tell our audience where they can find you. Tell them about your website and any other projects that you're working on right now.
Okay, so the website is called thekidonthego.com. And basically the website is to find activities for kids to do in South Florida, but also nationally, because we also have virtual activities as well. Awesome. So that's basically the gist of it is really all about the kids and keeping them entertained, also keeping them healthy. I also discuss stuff about like during the summer, what sunscreen to use. So just if it relates to keeping them active and active, then basically that's what I try to focus on. That's what I'm trying to focus on.
Awesome. And they can find you on Facebook too, right?
They can also find me on Facebook as well. Well, also I'll list, pick out different activities that I hope will interest everyone that they can partake in case they don't feel like searching through the site as well.
Awesome. And we'll make sure to put all the links down in the show notes. And it's not just a Halloween, it's year round, right? Because you have all year round. You know, like you said, there's more holidays coming up before the end of the year, and I'm sure you'll have new ideas, Christmas ideas, New Year.
Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah,
Christmas I did
I guess
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving too. Yeah, we used to do stuff like make turkeys and costumes and pilgrims and Indians, all that stuff. I don't know if we're allowed to do that anymore, but that's that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, thank you, Z, so much
Thank you guys
for sharing this with us. I know I'm going to check it out. I'm going to figure out what we can do with my daughter, and I'll actually let her pick it out. I'll get her on the website. What do you want to do? And I'll go, great, let's do it. So let her kind of guide through that. And
part of your yes day, huh? You can make a yes day out of it.
I'll make it part of my yes day. Z, we had a guest on the show that he suggested having a whole day where you say yes to everything that your kids want.
Okay, every day, the whole day.
The whole day. I saw that little bit of fear hit you on your face. I saw that fear, like that's how it hit me too. I was like, oh no. Now it's putting parameters on it is what we did. I'm like, hey, we're not going on some big shopping spree. We're not buying pets, but it's an interesting idea to do. So maybe like Paul said, I'll include that on one of my yes days and be like, all right, here's your Halloween yes day. What do you want to do? And I'll put Z's website on there, thekidonthego.com. So
okay, cool.
Z, any final thoughts for Halloween? Any tidbits for us to wrap up the show?
I would just say just have fun. I mean, it's all about having fun and being safe at the same time. You want to make sure, even though COVID happened, when they remember this, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, they smile just like us three are doing. So they can do that with the social bubble. They can do that, do a drive-through haunted house or painting as a pumpkin. Who knows? Just hopefully hopefully COVID won't be what they remember. They remember that they had Halloween and fun with you guys.
I like that. Just get creative with it. Z, thank you so much for coming on our show. And we're looking forward to your continued success with your website and all the projects you have, going forward.
All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
I'm excited for my Halloween party coming up. I'm glad Z came on the show. I'm excited to show her website to my daughter and give her some different ideas on what we can do, and we'll see what stands out, man. But I'm excited for Halloween coming up.
Yeah, and I recommend anybody who has small children or children to check out the website for ideas for Halloween. I know everything's different because of COVID, but like we all talked about, we just got to be creative and we still can have fun.
Yeah, I'm looking at it again. I got it pulled up. She's got a bunch of different resources, whether it's virtual, in person, different, type of ideas. So I'm glad Z came on the show and shared this. I'm definitely going to use it. And, I hope our audience gets, something out of this as well. So, well, let's go ahead and wrap up the show with another segment of Ask Paul Anything. Paul, you said you found a question in the emails that was fitting.
It was definitely fitting. So this is from Sam from Utah, and it was very simple. It says, Paul, what scares you? So I thought it would be perfect because, it's Halloween. What scares me? And I have to tell you, what scares me is missing out. I don't want to miss out. Like I want, I shouldn't feel that way, but I do. I don't want to miss out. I want to, go after what I want to go after and not have a regret going, oh man, I missed out on that, or I did that. So in my life now, I want to do the things that I really want to do because I don't want to go looking back at 80 and 90 years old and go, man, I really missed out. So I don't want to miss out. So that's what scares me.
You got some of that FOMO going on, right? That was a term I didn't know until recently. I'm like, FOMO, what is that? That fear.
What does that mean? I don't.
Fear of missing out. FOMO.
Oh, okay.
The fear of missing out. So it's a little acronym there. So I get that. And wanting to to get out there, do all the things that you have. I know you and I have talked about your bucket list before, and I know you've got a bunch of different things on there, and maybe COVID has slowed some of that stuff down, but yeah, I think it's important to get out there and try a bunch of different things like we talk about, and have no regrets when you're at the end, right? So I like that. So great question, Sam. Thank you for sending that in. Guys and gals, make sure to continue to send your questions into actionsandlimits@gmail.com, and you can get your questions featured on the show. Another great episode, Paul. Glad Z could come on and share her content with us. So, man, I'm looking forward to Halloween this coming weekend.
Spooky. For Justin Atherton, this is Paul Fortune. We'll see you next week.
All right. See you. Thank you for listening to the show. Don't miss an episode. Click and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on your favorite podcast platform, and find us on Instagram and Facebook under Actions and Limits to stay updated on all our upcoming content. Continue to email the show at actionsandlimits@gmail.com for our segment Ask Paul Anything. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.